It's no secret that I love to draw cartoons. Some of my favorite cartoons to either watch or draw are either Disney or Hanna Barbera. That's not to discourage other cartoons like Nickelodeon or Studio Ghibli, but I found myself wondering, what would some of the most iconic Disney characters look like in Hanna Barbera's style? I'm going to try to replicate Hanna Barbera's stylistic choices, not just draw Hanna Barbera characters in Disney costumes. I thought I'd be talented enough to pull off this Herculean task, so let's see the results. Firstly, let's break down what exactly Hanna-Barbera style is. When William Hanna and Joe Barbera were starting out their own television animation studio, they were operating on a strict budget. So to save money, they would make stylistic choices like many of their character designs, including ties and necklaces, so that animators could quickly swap out heads without having to redraw the bodies of characters. This would be the same reason that many Hanna-Barbera characters like Fred Flintstone would have the 5 o'clock shadow line on their faces. So the animators just had to draw the mouth, making these choices both cost-effective and stylistically cool. So, now that we got that out of the way, let's get on to the cartoon characters. First on the list is Lady and the Tramp. What's most interesting about me deciding to do this video, and I didn't even think about until I started to put it together, is that one of Hanna-Barbera's lead character designers, Ivo Takamoto, actually worked at Disney for a brief time before working at Hanna-Barbera. Most notably, Takamoto would work on the final character design for Lady. And while at Hanna-Barbera, Takamoto would become known as the guy that designed dogs, designing dogs like Muttley and Scooby-Doo. These designs were actually really hard. A lot of Hanna-Barbera characters have really simplistic line choices, and Disney characters have a lot of complicated line choices. But I think I did a good job at capturing the spirit of the characters in Hanna-Barbera's style. Up next is Frozen. Frozen isn't necessarily one of my favorite movies, but you cannot deny its popularity. Myself, along with a million other fathers with daughters around the world, watched this movie thousands of times when it first came out. Disney had tried off and on for 70 years to make Frozen before it finally hit the screen. Walt Disney himself got the idea to adapt Hans Christian Andersen's The Snow Queen in the early 1930s, but he couldn't quite crack the story. Transforming these CGI characters into 2D was really fun and interesting. I took inspiration from Wilma and Betty from the Flintstones for Anna and Elsa. Even though I said I wasn't going to do Hanna-Barbera characters dressed as Disney, I don't think that's necessarily quite the case here, but I like the way it turned out. Next up is The Lion King. The Lion King is one of Disney's most successful movies and the most profitable home movie release. Disney credits Hamlet and Egyptian mythology for inspiring aspects of the story, but it's long been rumored that animators took direct inspiration from Osamu Tezuka's 1965 series, Kimba the White Lion. Some claim it's a direct ripoff, but I personally don't think that's quite the case, although several aspects of the series are lifted to The Lion King, such as the name similarities, Simba and Kimba, based on the Swahili word for lion, and Kimba and Simba's orphan status. And another quick Lion King fun fact, Matthew Broderick recorded all of his lines for The Lion King over the phone. Next up is Aladdin. As many of you could have probably have guessed from the poster behind me, Aladdin is one of my favorite Disney movies. Not only does Aladdin have a great voice cast like Robin Williams, Gilbert Gottfried, and Jonathan Friedman, the movie's directors, John Musker and Ron Clements, are also responsible for some of the most iconic Disney movies, like The Great Mouse Detective, The Little Mermaid, Hercules, Moana, and another one of my personal favorites, Treasure Planet. And a quick shout out to the voice of Aladdin himself and DJ Tanner's boyfriend, Scott Wanger. Just wanted to take a second right here to say I really think they need to put the Aladdin TV series on Disney+. Comment below if you agree with me. And last but not least, the titular trio behind Disney, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. I think it would have actually been illegal for me to do this video without drawing Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. These three guys are some of the most recognizable cartoons around the world, and some of my favorite artists helped create them, like Ub Iwerks with Mickey Mouse and Carl Barks with Donald Duck. Neither one gets nearly enough credit for their contributions, so I will always try to shout them out whenever I can. I just did a full history of Ub Iwerks. If that's something you're interested in, go check that out on my channel. So what do you guys think? Comment below on your thoughts. I think I did a pretty good job. Thanks everyone for watching until the end. If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe. And comment below what cartoon character you want to see drawn next, or what style swap piques your interest the most. I have a couple other ideas for style swaps in mind, like a Simpsons style swap. If you can't tell from behind me, I love The Simpsons. And if you're interested, you can check out some of my other videos right here.